The World Cup ended 11 days ago, but the controversy that surrounds it continues. FIFA President Gianni Infantino announced early this week his intention to privatise parts of the World Cup and sell them off to investors. That announcement caused outcry from certain federations, including UEFA, who called an emergency meeting with its members. Infantino gave all federations until September the 19th to confirm if they were in or out. UEFA, governors of European football, didn't need that long, threatening to boycott the 2030 World Cup if these plans were to be enacted. In a striking and unequivocal statement, UEFA say, as a result of today's discussion, no UEFA national teams will participate in any FIFA competition for so long as these proposals remain alive. Some things are simply too important to sell. The FIFA World Cup belongs to football. It always will, and so long as Europe has a voice, it will never be for sale. Journalist Martin Ziegler, who broke the story, says England were one of the more stronger voices in taking this stance.
I understand both the English FA chairwoman, Debbie Hewitt, who's also a FIFA vice president, and the FA's chief executive, Mark William, both spoke strongly in favour of a boycott at this virtual UEFA meeting. And I suppose, they're one of the big countries that investors will want to have in the tournament. So when they take that sort of position, it shows that they mean business. And it's if anyone was in doubt whether England would go that way, they made sure that there was no doubt that England were fully behind the boycott.
Spain, who are the men's and women's world champions, also backed UEFA's position. This could mean both sides' failure to defend their world crown. But forget 4 years away, this could have implications for women's qualifiers in as early as September.
Well, this is not just a 2030 World Cup, Jordan. This is every FIFA competition. Now, the first World Cup qualifiers for the Women's World Cup start at the start of September. So we're not talking about 4 years down the line. We're talking a few weeks away. So if those matches do not go ahead, then I can't see that happening, because that would be too much of a crisis for FIFA. I think that now they're facing a situation they're just going to have to back down.
Before UEFA's statement was released, Defence Secretary Wes Streeting added his political support of any rejection to any privatisation of the World Cup.
I think UEFA's reaction should surely kill this harebrained scheme stone dead. It should never have seen the light of day. The World Cup belongs to all of us. It belongs to fans. And it's certainly not for FIFA to sell off. And I think they've got kind of serious questions to answer as to how on earth this idea ever saw the light of day.
Money has always muddied the footballing waters, but it seems that fans who feel greed and cronyism has gone too far, they might just now have an ally.
Well, joining me now from Sweden is the former chief executive of UEFA, Lars-Christer Olsen. His successor in that top European job was a certain Swiss football administrator called Gianni Infantino, before he went on to become the head of FIFA 10 years ago. Thank you very much for coming on the programme. What do you make of this idea of Gianni Infantino's then?
Yeah, it's totally ridiculous. It should never have been presented.
And I mean, UEFA's statement today was incredibly strongly worded. I've never seen anything like it. They're basically accusing Infantino of a secret plot cooked up by, the members of FIFA who he thinks will vote with him in order to privatise the organisation, the tournament. Do you think that's a fair accusation?
Yeah, absolutely, because I think there has been tendencies like this also before in the Gianni Infantino presidency. I mean, he was rewarded a medal in the World Cup in Russia, and now he presented a peace prize for the president of the United States. And there were strange things happening in the decisions for the organizing of the next World Cups. So there have been tendencies like this before, but this is totally ridiculous what's presented now.
You were his predecessor running UEFA. I mean, presumably you know the guy well. Is he corrupt?
I didn't think so, because he was one of my employees. And he did a good job, actually, and was working very hard. So it's a totally different Gianni Infantino I can see now.
I mean, he obviously denies anything nefarious and any corruption and all this. And what he says that he's doing this for the good of football. And I just wonder whether the European nations, whether UEFA is being a little bit hypocritical here, because of course, money and football are no strangers, you know, especially in our country. I mean, look at the Premier League and the billions that have been poured into that. So what's wrong with having, you know, making money out of the World Cup?
No, it's not a question of bringing money into the competition or competitions. It's a question of how it's done and what kind of power you can get by having too much money. And you see that already on the club side. You have seen the clubs, the big clubs in Europe, trying to go away from the European competitions and organize their own. And this is now another thing, which is in a similar way exposing football for the risk of those who have got a lot of money.
But I guess Gianni Infantino could call Europe's bluff. I mean, he appears to have the votes, the representations of footballing associations that represent the global south. I think they make up 111 votes out of 201. So he's got the majority if he wants to go ahead with it. Do you think he'll take the risk, or could this be the last throw of his dice?
I would say that I'm not confident that he will not take the risk. This is what surprises me and also worries me a lot, I have to say. But if UEFA is boycotting all the FIFA competitions and the clubs and spectators and others are going on the same side as UEFA, this will be the death for FIFA as it is now.
I mean, this is really serious for those who care about football, which is, you know, half the planet. This could be the end of the World Cup, just 2 weeks after we had it.
I don't think it will be the end of the World Cup. It would be a different World Cup if this boycott is organized. And I think even if FIFA makes a success World Cup now with a lot of income coming in, if UEFA would step down from these competitions, it's very dangerous for the World Cup. So it will certainly change format if they are continuing with this proposal.
Lars Christer Olsen, thank you very much indeed for your time.